Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to a Venice Game Room.
Right, now, I didn't want the video to go on for too long because I've got to test it as well. So what I've done is I've started putting it all back together, and I almost forgot to actually turn the camera on and start recording, but I remembered in the end. Got a few little things left to put on here, which I'll get on now. And then once I've done that, I'll go over exactly what I've done and summarise everything, and then what I'll do is I'll nip upstairs, get a power cable and a mouse and things, bring a couple of discs down and get this thing hooked up to the telly, and we'll go from there. Right, as I said, I've almost finished assembling it. Now, yeah, and then I'll go through exactly what I've done once I've got it all bolted back together. Right, let's get the lid back on. Actually get in the right place. Right, doesn't look too bad. And what I'll do is we'll show you the finished results. Right. Shouldn't take me too long to get this back together, to be honest. Get in there, you pig. Right. Then we get to have a look at the finished result, which hopefully has turned out alright. Slowly getting there. Right, and there we go. All back together. Right, it's time for the big unveiling. Oh, God, that sunlight has been a pain in the ass. Right. Just out of the way. I don't know how well that's going to show up on the camera, but what I'll do is I'll start from the motherboard and I'll work my way out exactly what I've done. The main motherboard itself was cleaned with compressed air. Then I cleaned it with isopropyl as well, and it came out quite nice. There was one dry joint on the motherboard itself, that was the RF socket. That was the only one. Other than that, the board itself was in fairly good nick. Then moving up from that to the power supply, I've completely recapped it, got rid of all the old caps, and then put that back in. The floppy drive, stripped that, cleaned that, took the fascia off, got that washed as well. It was surprisingly clean inside the floppy drive. There was hardly any dust, which quite surprised me considering the state of the rest of the computer. I mean, yeah, I was very surprised at how tidy it was inside that floppy drive. Then moving on from there is the keyboard. Now, the keyboard is a Frankenstein keyboard now. The original was cracked in one corner, and it was actually cracked in a few other places as well. It was knackered. So the spare keyboard that I had in the bag, which had half of the keys missing, when I checked that, the board and everything on it was spot on. So what I did was I took all the keys off the original keyboard, and I've put them on the other keyboard. So if you can see that, but when I've cleaned it, all the keys have turned out fine, apart from H. Now, I don't know why H is not cleaned properly at all. I'll check that other keyboard. I can't remember if it had a H on it or not, because it had a fair few keys missing. And what I'm going to do is, if it has, I'm going to clean that key up and put that on there, because it looks a bit odd having that one odd key in the middle. As you can see, it's turned out quite nice. I've checked the keyboard and that, and there's no dry joints on the keyboard or anything. That's all sound. Then for the actual case itself, what I did with that was I cleaned it with a toothbrush and toothpaste, and I went over it, and then after I went over it with a toothbrush and toothpaste, I then put it in hot soapy water and washed it with a microfiber cloth. And obviously did that for the keyboard, the top and the bottom, and the fascia for the disk drive. As you can see, it hasn't turned out too bad, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this, because that friggin' sun coming through the window has been a pain in the arse. But everything's cleaned up rather nice. I managed to get the badge lovely and clean as well, and it actually resembles a real Atari ST now, and not some abomination from a junkyard. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go upstairs and get some power cables and a mouse and things, and we're going to power it on and see what happens. So what's going on here? I'm going to leave that in because I'm quite curious to see if it actually works and if there's actually anything on it. That is assuming it fires up. Which no malloc over the past day, so it's probably not, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll get that set up and I'll see you in a few minutes. Right, we're back now. Let's get this TV turned on. Right, now I've connected this through the RF, so it's going to need tuning in. Install manual scan, analog. Now normally it should be 36. I'm hoping no one's messed around with the pot on the back and actually changed it. Well, it's just saying that is it going to friggin' come on? We'll find out anyway. Right, I have a mouse and keyboard plugged into it as well. There's nothing less to do but give it a go. Oh, well, the floppy drive seems to have come on. Both lights seem to be on. Doesn't appear to be doing anything though. It's doing something. What's it doing? It's making noises, that's what it's doing. Right. Apparently it's picked up a signal and it's good, so why hasn't it got a picture? The remote doing what you do. Right, well I think it's done something anyway, so what we need to do is .36. Right, so it's definitely pulled a signal through, right. Know what you're doing, you stupid thing. Ooh! And there we go. Yay! Right. The TV being a pain in the ass. Right. The mouse working. Ooh, yes, the mouse is working too. So, I wonder if there's anything on that disc. Oh, this is just fantastic. Right. You should have got a mouse mat down rather than using the game box, but never mind. What the hell's on this disc then? There's a problem there. Let's see if we can find it. I was reading the disc fine. Apparently it's not reading that. So I'm not sure what the hell's on this disc. It seems to be reading it anyway. whatever. Right, now right, keys, F1 for stereo, F2 for normal, space to exit, or space worked anyway, so I'm assuming the keyboard is working. God, I've not that bloody camera again. Moron. Right. English. Oh. Right. Start a new game. 1, 2. Right. Well, the keyboard seems to be working fine anyway. Yeah, I think that'll do for now. I'll test the rest of it later. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.